Hi, this is Mimi.
And this is Lee. And in this episode of Beyond Dieting, we talk about body dysmorphia 101.
Yeah, so let's just give kind of a what the Mayo Clinic defines as body dysmorphia, and then we'll kind of talk about how we see it playing out in everyday life for the majority of women.
Mhm.
So the Mayo Clinic defines it as body dysmorphic disorder, BDD, has a mental health condition in which you can't stop thinking about one or more perceived defects or flaws in your appearance. Most often, these are flaws that appear minor or can't even be seen by other people.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. But even so, you feel so embarrassed and ashamed and anxious that you avoid being seen in social situations, maybe, or in photos still, even after weight loss. And with body dysmorphia, the mirror can be a very scary place.
Yeah, that was a very big butt. Like I could see the butt dot 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 dot. It's like this really I mean, I think the idea that they're perceived and minor or not real flaws that you focus on and believe to be there, and other people are like, no, no, no.
And it's also like you may like, okay, so I have loose skin from losing weight very quickly. Like I have some loose skin. And so there's a reality there that, yeah, my skin is looser. Because body dysmorphia is not only about weight, it's, just seeing yourself as like in a really critical way, like I'm super ugly or I'm super wrinkled or I have super loose skin and therefore I need to hide and be embarrassed. Um, oh wait, what was I going to say? Sorry, I lost my thread. Where was I, Mimi?
I don't know. Well, you were going to say it's minor, it's perceived. So I think maybe you were going to say, or it can be that it's just something that's there, but
Oh,
it's just a
thank you.
natural
Yes, yeah,
and
thank
we
you.
all have something that's not perfect, right? Like to
Yeah,
walk
we're
around
not
with
meant to be
perfection.
perfect. And when anytime you see a movie, a TV show, somebody on the news who's like a morning news person, or a photo from the fashion industry, or a commercial, any kind of marketing stuff, those people have been altered. They're not real. And so a lot of times you actually look more like a real movie star looks, or a real model looks, without all the airbrushing and stuff. So maybe being human means you're going to have unique characteristics: extra freckles, a mole, loose skin, wrinkles. But is that bad? Is that a bad thing? And are you holding yourself to too harsh a standard? So you're constantly suffering about the way you look, and maybe about your body size.
Yeah, that's what she said. My girls used to love to watch that show. I don't even know if it's still on, but Tyra Banks had that one about
Oh yeah.
top model. And it was really fascinating, because when you were talking about the morning news people and these, like, they've got teams, right? Just like a lot of times, Tyra Banks is picking these. And I was like, that's a pretty average looking woman there. But then by the time the team got to work on her and the photographer had her in the right angles and the clothing specialist had her in like just the perfect things, I was like, oh my gosh, like it's hard to even believe that it was the same person. So it's like we don't all have a team that's sitting around, you know, perfecting us every morning. But I think part of the thing about body dysmorphia is even if you did, you still would want to focus on the flaws. Like our brain often can still want to go to that place of like, well, I know everybody else is telling me I look good, but I just can't see it. I still see myself as fat, as overweight. I mean, we hear that all the time from the women that we work with. I don't know how to stop seeing myself as a fat person, even though I've lost 100 pounds.
Right, right. Yeah. So how can you deal with this? We experience it ourselves. So we're learning how to deal with it to create less suffering and less dysmorphia. I don't know if anybody ever gets to zero dysmorphia. I don't know, because I haven't gotten there. And I've done a ton of mindset work, and I know how to work on my thoughts. And I'm not sure it's ever, maybe there are moments when it is a zero. We're going to talk about a ranking system, how you can rank, how accurately are you seeing yourself. And so if you think of 0 to 10, and this will be our ranking system, 0 means when I look at myself, I know I see myself accurately, completely. That means I can see really good stuff too. I'm not just focusing on the negative, quote unquote, accurately. And I can see the results of my efforts. I feel good about the way I look. I can accept the reality of the smaller clip. This is my thing. After weight loss, my head was telling me that even though I was putting on a size small and even an extra small and it fit fine, that boy, this clothing company must have really increased their size range, like so that a small is actually like a medium or large, or an extra small is really more of a medium. And so it was hard for me to accept. So maybe, you guys have dysmorphia kind of like this, where it's like, but this is not a real small. It's not a real small, like, because that wouldn't be something I could fit into. And so it's not accepting. It's also not accepting your current reality if you have lost weight.
Yeah, but the 0 is you are accepting the reality of the smaller clothing.
Yeah, 0 means you see yourself accurately. Yeah,
Right.
you see yourself in combination with reality that other people see.
Yeah, you would be going, of course I'm wearing a medium. Like,
yes,
I have a medium body, I'm buying medium clothes. I have a large body. Like, it's not body positivity. It's not like I love this body that I have right now, but it's like,
no.
I see myself accurately as an extra large, and I'm buying an extra large garment.
Right. And so that would mean you're closer to 0, if not 0, on the body dysmorphia ranking system, to see how high is your body dysmorphia, how far are you up the stream of, like, if you think you look like Frankenstein and everybody else is like, you are gorgeous, then you're like a 10. So, but let's look at what a 5 would be. So 5 would be intellectually, you are improving. Maybe your weight loss is improving, or whatever you want to improve. Maybe it's your muscle tone, that and people tell you all the time, all these people who are, a lot of them shoot straight from the hip, are saying, no, you look great, and intellectually you're taking that in, you understand that on some level, but you could still spend a lot of time seeing yourself as overweight or flawed somehow.
Yeah. And I think like that person, I love the idea of like intellectually, I know it's true, but I'm still going to put myself in the back of the pictures like I've always done. Like, I can't let go of the fact that I'm still the big person that needs to be in the back of the photos. It's like you're kind of stuck between, I know this is real, but I can't let go of what has been my safety behavior, for all of these years. Right. I'm like, I'm not going to show up for a pool party, with a whole bunch of people that I'm not going to feel comfortable in a bathing suit in, even though I actually look really nice. Like, I'm fine in my bathing suit now all the time. It's like, I know it's okay. Like, I'm good with how it looks. I can see myself. I know how to dress myself, but I'm still stuck in not quite believing that it's going to be real or it's lasting. And I'm still holding on to a lot of those behaviors when I wasn't comfortable in my body. So it's like, I know that I could buy a medium sweatshirt, but I'm just going to buy the extra large just in case. So it doesn't, I don't want to look like I'm squeezing into something that's too small.
Right. Yeah, just it's kind of a safety comfort thing. And maybe being accustomed to covering your body, it's hard to move to a place. And it's not that you're like super revealy, but that you could wear something different than you wore before you lost the weight or something.
Yeah, I can say just one quick thing about that, Lee. I mean, this is the first year in 20 years where I am wearing bathing suits that don't have skirts.
hmm,
And I was like, I don't know why I feel like I always have to have a skirt.
I just could not love that more, Mimi.
Yeah,
That's a beautiful
a
thing.
long time coming. It's a lot easier to pack too.
Yeah. So, oh wait, I don't think we defined 10. So 10 would be, so for you guys listening, you're totally accurately seeing yourself, you see all the good stuff too, that would be 0. And then 5 is you're still torn, like intellectually you know it, but part of your brain's like, nah, you just aren't really there yet. And then a 10 is in your brain is like, I just can't stop seeing myself as fat, even when I've lost the weight, even when I can buy smaller clothes. I can't believe I'm that size. I just can't believe it. I can't see it. Even though the scale's telling you, says like, maybe the scale's broken. Is it broken? It's just going so low, you know? There's just this disconnect from the actual reality of the situation.
Yeah, and it can be physical too, right? Like it's like, yeah, I know I can now go out and walk a mile and feel really comfortable and come back and my knees aren't killing me or anything. But in my mind, I'm just like, I don't know if I can do a mile. Somebody wants to go walk around the lake. That's 1.7 miles. I don't think I can do it. Like you just can't start to um, own
Yeah.
your successes at all.
That happened to me this morning, Mimi. So I, because last week I was just super busy, and so I didn't get out and run in the morning, which is my goal, at least, 3 to 4 mornings in the week, I'm going to get out and run. And so I went out this morning and I'm like, boy, you better go slow. I was in my head as I started, I'm like, you can walk part of this. Don't worry, you can go slow, you're fine. If you walk it, I'll be proud of you, blah, blah, blah. I was having this little conversation in my head. But then I'm like, well, just start running. I had some music going. And I had this experience 2 weeks ago too. I was running so fast for me. Now, if you put me next to somebody who's actual runner, like they've been running for 20 years, 30 years, or they're in high school or something, probably still pretty slow, but for me, fast. And I'm like, boy, you better slow down because you won't be able to sustain this. And I just kept being surprised that my body was still fine. It was still fine. But the whole time, even coming back, I'm like, you could, that last few yards, you could just walk. But my body, I kept checking in with my body and I was breathing fine. And there was no pain. There was no discomfort. It was all in my head. And so it's just such a real thing that can pop up for people. And I would say it takes time to undo this.
Yeah. So how would you rate yourself, Lee, on that scale?
I would say, because I was in my closet this morning trying to look at my cold weather clothes, kind of assessing what I had, what I needed to keep or let go. And, I was still waffling over keeping or not keeping some extra larges and larges. And some I think are fine because sometimes it's just nice to have something, that's baggy and cozy. And so I'll keep some of them, but I was really torn. I'm like, it was harder. And Mimi knows I am a thrower outer. I can clear out a closet and just get rid of, kind of throw the baby out with the bathwater, sort of clearing. And I was struggling over letting go of some of the larges. And I had to have a talk to with myself. And then so I would say because of that, I was 5, like intellectually I know, but part of me is still struggling with it. So I would say that. And then, just body dysmorphia can ebb and flow. Like some days you just feel better and more accurate about where you are. And some days you don't. You have moments where it's not so great in your head. And so some days I could probably get my score a little lower, so I feel less dysmorphia. And then some days, like today, I noticed I was like having kind of this dissonance between reality and what my head was telling me.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if it was because in this moment I have to decide. Like
Mhm.
I can sit here and think, yeah, this is what size I am. I'm good at it. But when I'm
Mhm.
looking in my closet, I have to make, oh, this is a real, like, this is like the rubber is hitting the road now. I have to decide, am I really the kind of woman that doesn't need this
Mhm.
size of
Mhm.
clothes in her closet anymore? Am I not?
Extra
Like, I
sets, yeah.
wonder, yeah, like, oh, yeah, you can believe this about yourself, Leah, until you actually have to pull the trigger on something. And I know,
Right. I had gotten rid of a lot of, extra larges. I would say the beginning last spring when I was doing some spring cleaning, I was fine with that. But these last remaining larges, I was like, it was harder. And Mimi knows that's not natural for me because I'm good with clearing. But it was body dysmorphia, totally body dysmorphia related.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I know you've done a gorgeous job of buying new clothes for your new body now. You just bought
yeah,
beautiful clothes that really highlight and accentuate your
yeah.
shape.
I got a dress for my daughter's wedding it really skims my body. And normally that would have been really hard for me to feel comfortable in. I don't know if I'm 100% comfortable, but I'm going forward with it.
Yeah. You'll be gorgeous. Okay, so help me figure out where I am on the scale. So one of the things that I struggle with is telling people how much weight I've lost. Like with somebody says, like, oh, are you losing weight? I'm just like, yeah, and it's a pretty good number and I'm really proud of it. But because I know how much more I still want to lose and where I want to go, I'm like, well, I'm still heavy. I'm still too heavy for myself. Like, I don't really see myself smaller and everything. So I'm thinking they're not really seeing it either. Like, they're just being nice. So if
Yeah,
I say how much weight I've lost, I'm thinking they're not even going to believe that that's true because they're just seeing me because I still see myself as so heavy. They're only going to still see me as heavy and they're going to make, she's just making up that number or she's exaggerating what it is so she'll feel better. So I don't know. That I feel like to me that's like a 6.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's still a little bit higher on the dysmorphia. It's like I don't want to own the
yeah,
weight because it's like it feels like it's a lot of weight I've lost. And I look in the mirror and I still just see myself with all that
yeah.
weight on my body and still needing to lose it. And there's like you shouldn't feel shame to tell people how much weight you've
I
lost
know
when you're
it's something
proud
to be
of it.
proud of.
No.
Oh yeah. I definitely can relate. I'm sure so many people listening can relate.
Yeah, so
That's
I'd say, but
great.
I like what you said earlier. It's like some days it's probably like I look in the mirror and I can see exactly
Mhm.
who my body is and what it looks like. I mean, I don't have to love everything that's in there, but like I can really take an accurate, snapshot of it.
Mhm. Yeah,
Some days
just
I'm
trying
like,
to be
mm,
factual. Trying to be as factual without judgment words like fat, thin, but I weighed this. I
mhm.
wear this size. Try to use measurement a little bit more, especially if you're losing weight and going down in dress sizes. Use that as just accurately, this is a small. And I'm accepting, like right in this moment, I can accept that accurately I am a small and or whatever number on the scale, just accepting. And that number is very different from the number, X number of months ago, X years ago. So just like even just neutralizing. Like Mimi said, this is not about body positivity. This is just about getting yourself in alignment with actual reality of what a lot of people around you, not the snarky frenemy who gives you left-handed compliments, and suggests that you still could lose weight. Not that person, but all the supporting people around you who are, if there are enough of them, they're going to be accurate. They're going to say, you look great. Wow, you've really lost weight. You look great.
Yeah. So what would it be like? Like, how would it feel if you could believe that? And if it was true that you looked great and it is true that you're okay, your body is
Mm-hmm.
how it's supposed to be and it's doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just, I think with somebody in deep dysmorphia, where it's stubborn, it's a pretty entrenched way of looking at yourself, you might not be able to go to yeah, I look skinny. I look, this is great. You might not be all sunshine and roses, but you could just, again, be more factual. And also just, this is a coachy question, a self-coachy question that you can use when you're suffering from some dysmorphia and part of you suspects that's what's going on. Then just start to act like, what if it's true that I'm a freaking, extra small size? What if it's true that this number is real? It's a lasting number on the scale. It's much lower than the number, X number of months or weeks or years ago. What if this is all real? This is my new reality. And just at least asking that question. And then maybe slowly over time, you'll start to believe it.
Yeah. I mean, we talk all the time about it's mindset, it's coaching, and it's work. It isn't just saying, okay, I guess I'm a small now, like that would be so lovely if it was a switch that you could do like that. But I think asking that question, like, what if it is true?
What if it is true that I'm really small now? And can I
Mhm.
accept this smallness or this new me, this new size, this new reality? Can I just sink into kind of some peace and relaxation here rather than panic that I'll gain it back? Because I think some of the dysmorphia is a fear that it's not permanent. It's a, passing stage where somebody is trying to trick you that you weigh less or that you can wear the smaller clothes. But, can you trust that this is your new reality and see it, really see it?
Yeah. And I think it can be hard because some of the doctors and professionals that you meet with still really cling to some of the diet industry and diet culture standards. And that
Yes.
is this one standard that is for everybody, and it might not be for your body.
Right.
We
Never
all are
get.
shaped different, right? And we can all carry or not carry specific amounts of um, weight. And
Yeah.
so, but you
Yeah.
can bump it, and it can be an odd doctor, it can be your eye doctor or somebody that says something that's just not real. And that can,
Yeah. They kind of buy into your body dysmorphia and become that part of your brain that wants to see you as still needing to do work. I definitely had, I was told the story before, I had a primary care physician. I emphasize had because she got fired from me. Like I'm not working with her anymore, but she was clearly had an eating disorder in which she was overly thin, like bony, like worrisome amount of thin on this woman. And she's a doctor, doctors are humans and have disorders too. And it looked like she had always had an eating disorder. And she was, getting up there and probably in her 60s, but she was just somebody who really sees bodies as fat because that's anorexics see their bodies as fat. And so a doctor can still buy into this dysmorphic way of thinking and seeing humans, And so you don't want advice from that person. You don't want to hang around that person because they'll validate and kind of reinforce this I think disordered way of thinking about yourself.
yeah, it's just really important to be able to move closer to seeing yourself as you are. Like, even if it's like, I still have a lot of stuff that I want to change,
Yeah. Because again, I think
exercise goals, movement goals, weight goals, but to start working and honoring where you are now and seeing that has objectively and data driven and in a scientific manner and less emotional is only going to benefit you, and it's, that's the work, right?
And we lean on measuring in our programs because our heads can get so screwy around how we view food, how we view ourselves, our habits, our head gets to be kind of a slippery slope place. And so we use measurement and tracking, and not to restrict things, but to actually know what's real, to know what is reality. And, you know, that definitely turned my process around when I realized that my head is a slippery place. And so I need data to show me, and I can believe data. And it helps pull me out of the body dysmorphia and like the strange relationship I guess I developed around food and in my own body. So I think using metrics can be very helpful if you have body dysmorphia, because you can keep proving to yourself, nope, this is the weight I am. I actually reached this lower weight. I actually am this dress size.
Yeah. And I think, you know, find people that you trust who love you and believe them when they tell you what they see and what their truth is.
It takes work. I mean, in our programs, we give you many more mindset exercises to help you reorient your lens, because you've had on this diet culture lens and this quote unquote I am fat lens for a long time. And so how do you get new lenses? How do you look, you know, start to look at things differently? And that's where coaching and mindset work is super valuable. And so in our programs, you know, that's what we're helping women do.
Yes. And if you do have a serious and medically diagnosed case of body dysmorphic disorder, you know, like there's not a shame in that, right? Like get help, get the help that you need and seek, because it's really hard to do this type of work and suffer from, you know, any mental health condition. We all, you know, have emerged from childhood and middle school and those college years, especially if you've had babies, you know, with some forms of trauma around our body. And there's no shame in getting the medical help that you need.
Yeah, I mean, I would think if somebody has a severe case and people around you tell you like, wow, you're really, it's weird, you're not seeing yourself accurately. I mean, I would suggest going to a therapist who specializes in that and doing at least some short-term work to, you know, start to understand yourself a little bit better. And then coaching tools are what you would use probably after getting medical help, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. If this is so affecting the quality of your life, then that's when it's good to get help. And I think knowing that other people have these same issues, it doesn't matter what it is. If I think I'm the only one that thinks like this, everybody else seems to, you know, be getting it together. She's losing weight and looks amazing. And she feels, you know, she just looks like she's, you know, walking on air. And here I am still struggling, still only seeing myself as fat, still beating myself up all day long. Just know that there's a vast number of us out there that are in that same boat with you. I always just find that so comforting.
Yeah. And it's a boat you don't have to stay in, you know, forever. You can start seeing yourself more accurately and suffer less as a result.
Suffer less. That's a beautiful result.
Suffer less. That's a t-shirt.
Suffer less.
All
That's good.
right. So what's our song, Mimi? We do a song.
So our song, it just popped into me, is Pink's Perfect. I only listened to the clean version because it came onto my phone when the girls were young, and I just love it. But when it popped into my head, I went back and re-looked at the lyrics again. And I'm a huge Pink fan. I love how strong she is about who she is and how she looks and takes the hits for it. But and this whole song is talking about how you talk about yourself. And she talks about like changing the voices in your head, make them like you instead. And I was like, why do we have to be told to not let to not keep voices that are saying negative things and making us feel bad about ourselves? So you are perfect. Um, it's just a beautiful song. If you haven't listened to it in a while, go back.
Yeah, I'll put it on I don't think we have it on the playlist at this exact moment in time, but I will go put it on there.
Yeah. And you are
Okay.
perfect to us.
Yes. Yeah, we have a Spotify playlist, by the way, the Her Genius Spotify playlist. So if you guys want to listen, yeah.
It's kind of wide. It's got a little bit of everything on there.
It does from every decade. It's a wide variety,
Yeah.
but topical often.
Yeah.
Or just fun. Or just fun.
I think more fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.